Good morning to all of you that have come to celebrate the life of Mayor Gregory S. Pettis. I'm Mayor Pro Tem John Aguilar, and when I reflect on the life of the late Mayor Pettis, I'm filled with admiration and pride. This is a man who started his political career as a political activist in several LGBT organizations in the 1980s, who then managed to become a politician by taking his seat on the City Council in 1994, and who over time acquired the political and diplomatic acumen to rise to the level of statesman. Greg Pettis was married to politics, and politics was enamored with Greg Pettis. We here in Cathedral City were privileged to have him as our statesman. Many of us, including myself, were shocked by his unexpected passing, coming at such a young and premature age of 63. To Greg, he probably wouldn't have had it any other way. He often used shock value to get people's attention, and no better example of that was when he announced his idea of a naked bike ride through Cathedral City as one of his first proposed items as mayor. You have to laugh because even he knew he wasn't going to participate. However, it was his way of saying to the world that Cathedral City is a place where you can be free, where you can love who you love, and celebrate humanity, imperfect or not. Greg served on the City Council longer than any other person in our city's history, a little over 24 years. However, success did not come quick or easy, a lesson that Greg grew to understand over the years. He ran and he lost his first council race in 1988, garnering just 375 votes and coming in almost dead last. It didn't matter, as he ran for office to be a voice for the LGBT community, as it lacked a seat at the dais to deal with the pressures of the AIDS crisis, while at the same time the discrimination of leaders trying to push gay businesses out of the city. As the leader of the Gay and Lesbian Alliance of the Desert, Greg knew the only way to have a voice was getting someone elected to the City Council. After losing the election, he continued his work organizing the LGBT community, serving as president of the Desert Business Association, helping to open the first gay and lesbian community center in the Valley, chairing the campaign to fight statewide anti-LGBT legislation of Prop 96 and 102, and raising funds by walking in the local AIDS Walk. In 1992, Greg ran for mayor of Cathedral City against Carol Engelhardt, who was friends with the conservative Reverend Lou Sheldon, an outspoken critic of the LGBT community. He lost again. He ran for mayor in 1994 against Deputy Sheriff Dave Barry and lost again. However, at this point, Greg was seen as a viable candidate. He went on to receive 3 votes from sitting council members to be appointed to the City Council. That was a pivotal point in his life. December 12, 1994 was the marriage date between Greg Pettis and Greg Pettis, the politician. Mayor Pettis went on to win 6 council elections starting in 1996, and in 2016 he garnered the highest number of votes, 7,234. It was the most votes ever achieved in a competitive City Council race. His success was finally realized on December 10, 2018. Greg achieved a goal he set out in 1992. He became the mayor of Cathedral City, a moment celebrated with 3 special ingredients beloved to Greg: the Cathedral City High School Choir, an LGBT mariachi band, and his favorite food, Mexican street tacos with all the fixings. Although LGBT issues were a big priority throughout his career, his influence was felt on many other topics, including downtown development, tourism, youth services, veterans recognition, and getting our fair share of public infrastructure projects through his work on many regional and national commissions. Greg was the one council member who always volunteered to travel to Sacramento and Washington, D.C. to attend and advocate on behalf of his constituents. Throughout his political career, Mayor Pettis was involved in establishing many jewels of Cathedral City, including building a brand new library, a new city hall, the Fountain of Life, Dennis Keats soccer fields, and the place we gather today, Big League Dreams Sports Park, home to the annual Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Revitalizing and turning Cathedral City's downtown into an arts and entertainment district has been a goal of Greg since the 1990s. He was thrilled to have witnessed the Mary Pickford Theater's refurbishing and becoming the first 100% sustainable movie theater in the state, if not the nation. Nothing pleased Greg more than eating solar-powered popcorn. He always bought his annual popcorn pass for $25 and ate as much as he could. He was instrumental in helping to bring the Coachella Valley Repertory Theater to the former IMAX building. It will conduct its first live performance in March. Mayor Pettis also advocated for the new downtown amphitheater park. He joined the rest of the council for the groundbreaking ceremony before his passing. And he was incredibly supportive of Agua Caliente's band of Guajira Indians' plans to open a new downtown casino at the corner of Highway 111 and Date Palm Drive, a fight he had been fighting since the early 1990s to bring gaming back to Cathedral City. Increasing tourism to our city and the financial benefits that come along with that were important to Greg. He started the sister city relationship with Tequila, Jalisco, Mexico, that has continued since 1996. He advocated for cultural festivals and events over his 2 decades, including Cinco de Mayo, El Grito Festival, and most recently, the Taste of Jalisco festivals happening next weekend. In the past 5 years, he realized the importance of festivals in elevating our community's reputation and bringing new development and visitors to our downtown. He valued the Cathedral City Hot Air Balloon Festival, Snowfest, Halloween Spectacular, Easter Kidapalooza, and Cathedral City's LGBT Days. One of his proudest moments was when he got the honor of raising the rainbow flag at City Hall for the first time ever, and a first for the entire Coachella Valley. Another passion for Greg was helping our youth. Earlier in his life, he was the executive director of the Palm Springs Youth Center, and he was also proud of the Cathedral City High School students and their extraordinary talents. He vigorously supported the high school choir and band, as well as he went to almost all of the theater department productions. In fact, he helped raise tens of thousands of dollars to send the choir students to Australia, Italy, and New York. And back in the early 90s, Greg wrote the application for the state's grant to fund a new city library in order for our kids to have the necessary resources to learn. Greg also lent his support for the men and women who served our country in the military. He started the Healing Field program at Patriot Park that honors fallen U.S. soldiers killed in the line of duty since 2001. More than 6,900 flags are displayed and their names read every Veterans Day week in order to recognize their sacrifice to our nation. Mayor Pettis was also an advocate for the establishment of the LGBT Veterans Memorial in Desert Memorial Park in Cathedral City, which honors LGBT men and women who have served. The first of its kind memorial in our nation's history was recently elevated to the official state LGBT Veterans Memorial through legislation authored by Assembly Member Eduardo Garcia. No other Cathedral City Council member has had more influence in regional, state, and national politics than Mayor Pettis. He was instrumental in making sure Cathedral City received its fair share of public infrastructure projects by sitting on too many committees, commissions, and task forces to list. He previously served as president of Southern California Association of Governments, the nation's largest metropolitan planning organization, representing 6 counties, 191 cities, and more than 19 million residents. He helped secure over $100 million worth of projects just in the last 5 years. Mayor Pettis also helped secure miles of new sidewalks for school children to walk to school, and he participated each year in the National Walk to School Day. Getting people out of their cars and into other modes of transportation was extremely important to Mayor Pettis. He was proud that Cathedral City was the first city to build the very first segment of the CV Link, and he was an advocate for increased passenger rail service from Los Angeles to the Coachella Valley. Other environmental and conservation causes were dear to his heart too. He was the lone voice on the City Council back in the 1990s to preserve the washes and the hillsides surrounding the Cathedral City Cove neighborhood from development. He introduced city ordinances to ban plastic bags and limit plastic straws. He also supported installing the city's solar power projects and converting large segments of grass into desertscape to conserve water. Mayor Pettis was also attentive to the city's finances. After the Great Recession and several bouts of city worker layoffs, Greg understood the need to diversify the tax revenue that funds city services. Greg embraced the new emerging cannabis industry to our town that has brought with it good-paying jobs, nearly $100 million in private infrastructure, improvements to older buildings, and substantial tax revenue that has allowed the city to fully staff its police and fire departments. As much as these many achievements kept his marriage with politics together, his role in the advancement of civil rights and social justice filled his heart. Greg wanted equality for all and peace throughout the world. He was a deciding vote in making Cathedral City the first sanctuary city in the Valley and the first to mandate gender-neutral bathrooms for single-stall restrooms. He cherished helping start the Cathedral City Gay Business Association and to witness the expansion of LGBT nightclubs, and just recently, the first full-service downtown restaurant to be built from the ground up in over a decade. I'm saddened to say that Mayor Greg Pettis left our world on January 15th, 2019. But as we celebrate his life today, we can be assured that his legacy will be felt for many generations to come. Greg, I know you're watching us from above, so please know, we love you, we miss you, and may you rest in peace.